All right. Welcome back, guys. Obviously, since this video is live, I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to get in here. And obviously, you guys are going to see me doing this when it uploads to YouTube. So I'm just kind of going to wait a couple minutes, get everything ready, get all of the pages that I need up, ready to go. If anyone has any questions, you know what to do. Since we're live, throw your questions in the chat. I will answer them when I see them. If this is the first time you've been here, subscribe. I don't know why you haven't already, but subscribe immediately, like the video, thumbs it up, and in a couple of minutes, we'll get started. Hey, T-Pro. So I'll just kind of wait a minute. So I don't know what's going on, but Saturday slates have started to become just absolutely stupid. You're not going to play the all-day slate. I mean, that's a fact because a lot of things will happen. Yes, there's a late swap, but it's just so many things can happen with the late swap. Then you can do very early only. On FanDuel, at least, it's 2 games. Or you can do the early only, which is a 4:05 Eastern, which is 9 games, or you can do the late or the main slate, which is 4 games itself. So anyone that checks our information, anyone who uses our lineups Saturday, right now at least, I don't know if it's every Saturday, but for now, we're going to do the early only, not the very early only, but the early only that has 9 games. It's the most that's going to be on the slate. So the thing is, I will be doing something this afternoon. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through this entire video. We're going to go through as much as possible that we can. What we're going to do is we're actually going to build together. So I want the chat to be very interactive. Together, I want everyone, we're going to build a FanDuel GPP lineup for the early slate, and we're going to build a DraftKings GPP lineup for the early slate. That'll be at the end. And I want your guys' input. I want everyone to vote. I want to build that, and then we'll see what comes of it. But I will be gone from noon till after the early slate locks. So the lineups will be out early. If someone's out, you're going to have to use the cheat sheet to update it because I won't have internet. So, and that's why I tell you always don't just copy the lineups. So that's something to look forward to. Seeing the people trickle in, which is awesome. So nobody won the home run contest yesterday. So the people that are watching this live right now, all 8 of you at the moment, since we just started, some of you might be new. If you've never tuned into our show, put a 1 in the chat. If you're already a subscriber, put a 2. And that'll kind of let me know if I need to go into detail. Obviously, this isn't my normal, this isn't my house, so I'm not at home doing the video. So 1 in the chat if you've never tuned in before, 2 in the chat if you're already a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Not much, Jacob. What's up with you? Okay, so home run contest. It's kind of like what FanDuel does, but we do a little bit different. So when this video goes live, so when this video uploads to YouTube and there's a comment section, come back to the video, and the home run contest is you predict who's going to hit a home run and in what inning. If you get both of those correct, you're going to win a free month of dailyrotohelp.com content. Don't do it here because this chat does not save when we're live. So after the video goes onto YouTube and it is there and there's a comment section, that's where you guys are going to go ahead and guess who you think is going to hit a home run and what inning. If you get both of those correct, you're going to get a free month of Daily Roto Help. Now, I don't know who's in the chat right now that played the Fantasy Football League with us last year. I just renewed the league, so everyone should have got a notification or an email about the league. So it was updated this morning. And I'll weed out who's going to play and who's not going to play. So the thing is, no matter what, I'm going to take the emails here and I'm going to probably put it in a, I'm going to email you guys out and ask if you guys are interested. So Jacob, you're asking if you can join. So that's the thing. They get the first dibs. So the 14 people that, or the 13 other people that played last year will get first dibs. If they decide not to play, then I'm going to bring other people in. If all 14 of them decide to play, but then I have let's say 10 more that want to play or 9 more, I'll make a second league. So anyone who is interested in snake draft, email me and let me know. support@dailyrotohelp.com. Put in the subject Yahoo or Fantasy Football League interest, and then tell me what buy-in you would do. So last year the buy-in was 50. Every team did 50. You pay before you draft because I don't know you. So you pay before you draft. And then we draft. We did have a couple teams that didn't pay before. I kicked them out and replaced them with teams that paid immediately, and then they got in there. We did $50 buy-in last year with 14 teams. First place got 400, second place got 200, third place got 100. This might be the only league where third place they actually made money. You didn't just get your money back. We've had a lot of interest to bump it from $50 to $100 buy-in. So when you email me and you're interested in it, email me, support@dailyrotohelp.com, subject of Yahoo Fantasy Football League, and your buy-in, either $50 or $100 buy-in, what you would like to, what you would pay to play. I've had 4 people email me, and I believe 3 of them said $100 buy-in and 1 said $50 buy-in. So that being that, if you are interested in it, just go ahead and email me real quick so I got the notification. I can get it on my phone, and then I have a folder, and I'll put everyone in there. So I'm first waiting from the first 14 people. Then if there's more interest, I'll add a second league there. So you guys are here for support@dailyrotohelp.com. It might be in the description of this video. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember what's in the description. So that is that. It's a Yahoo league. So just be aware of that. So what I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start with baseball. For people that weren't here, if you guys weren't here right at the beginning of this, FanDuel has, for baseball, they have a very early only, which is 2 games. They have an early only, which is 9 games, and they have a main slate, which is 4 games. So if you are a subscriber to our page, our lineups will be of the early slate, not the very early, but the early slate. We're not going to do the main slate because it's 4 games at night. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to do the slate with 9 games. But we are going to go over all of the weather. We're going to go over all of the pitching matchups. We're going to go over any news, notes, anything you guys like to see. So let's just jump into the weather for today. Now, I haven't looked at anything yet. I haven't seen if there's any weather concerns. So we're going to look together. So just looking. Good morning, Randy. To be honest with you, there's thunderstorms in Houston, but it's a dome. It's 107 in Arizona. Other than that, every game should get in. Every single person should get in. We're good. There is no weather concerns. We don't have to look at, maybe a delay. That's what we like to see. We like to see no weather, especially on a weird, a weekend slate lately, or at least a Saturday slate where they chop it up into 4 different slates. The weather can always play a factor there. Luckily, today it is not. So we're done with the weather. Let's look at the pitching matchups. And if you can hear the beeping, it's the laundry. I apologize. So looking at the first game on the slate, you got Kevin Gausman versus Kyle Gibson, Orioles at the Twins. You're not trusting the Orioles ever again. The Orioles are absolutely atrocious. The Twins against Gausman, 85 plate appearances, 295 batting average, consisting of a 334 WOBA. Load up on some Twins bats. Kyle Gibson's actually been pretty good this season. Just kind of looking at Kyle Gibson here, and when we go live, we can talk about a lot more. So kind of looking at that, his last outing against Milwaukee, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 home run, only 3 Ks. The game against the White Sox, 7 innings, 11 hits, 5 earned runs, but he had 7 Ks. Against Boston, which, I mean, you pretty much expected against Boston, 6 innings. So, I mean, he's giving you at least 5, but it will depend on if their bats can come through. Against Boston, he did give up only 2 earned runs with 5 Ks. Has he faced Baltimore at all this season? He has, yes, the very first start of the year, he went 6 innings, got the W, gave up no earned runs, and 6 Ks. Would not be surprised if he can, kind of look at something similar, not 100%, but looking at something. Randy, we are going to go over the entire slate. If you do go to our website and you do sign up for any of our packages, you can get a day pass for $5 and check out the site. You get a cheat sheet. You get optimal lineups. You get the article. With the optimal lineups, we're not doing an all-day slate. I know there are all-day slates with late swap, but it's just, if that's something you want to do, 100%, I wouldn't put it against you. But the lineups that we're going to put out are going to be the early only. I did not get your email. Can you type in here what email you sent it to? Or at least I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm looking at Kyle Gibson a little bit. GPP only. The Orioles are so bad. Or SP2, it really doesn't matter. Second one, Reds at the Cubs, Matt Harvey versus Tyler Chatwood. Tyler Chatwood walks so many people. It's unbelievable how he's still starting and walks so many people. 62 plate appearances, 313 batting average. I would not mind a red stack. Matt Harvey, he's actually turned things around, which is pretty impressive compared to what he was doing for New York. 89 plate appearances against him, 282 batting average. The Cubs are very dependent. They will strike out a ton. They didn't strike out a ton yesterday, but there are games where they'll strike out a ton. And Matt Harvey's super cheap, super contrarian GPP. He could strike out 6 or 7. I don't think Harvey's chalk after his last outing, but I think he'll have a little bit higher ownership because the Cubs can swing and miss a ton. So Jacob, type down below the email, what email address you sent that to. Let me see what it looks like. So I kind of like, if I'm taking a picture in this one, it would be Harvey. Phillies at the Pirates. Now, Arrieta versus Jameson Taillon. I don't see an email here. You didn't send an email in the chat. Type the email in this chat, which one you sent. The actual email address. I actually like Arrieta here against the Pirates. 204 batting average against him. 215 plate appearances. Obviously, being with the Cubs, he's seen them a ton. He has struggled the past couple of starts. They were against some pretty tough opponents. I think he bounces back. I really like. He's got a 27% K rate against the Pirates. I really like Arrieta in this one. Cash, GPP, it really doesn't matter. SP1, SP2, I think you need some. If you're someone who builds multiple lineups, you need to get him in there a little bit. Cardinals at the Giants, Carlos Martinez, Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija coming off the DL, looking like a 1970s porn star, hair, mustache. It's actually pretty trashy of a pitcher lately. Carlos Martinez, 107 plate appearances, 179 batting average against him, being played at AT&T Park. Huge park. Absolutely huge park. I love Carlos Martinez here. I don't trust Samardzija. The past couple of people have asked me about certain pitchers coming off the DL. I said I didn't really like Cueto the other day, and he just got lit up. I'm not saying Samardzija can get lit up, but Cueto is a better pitcher than Samardzija, and we saw what Cueto gave up. I love Carlos Martinez. I'm staying as far away from Samardzija as I possibly can because DL, possible pitch count, and he's just not that good of a pitcher. Then you got the Yankees at the Blue Jays. Luis Severino, J.A. Happ. Now, we could be seeing J.A. Happ in pinstripes very soon. Lefty. Yankees mash lefties. He's actually held the Yankees 133 plate appearances, 235 batting average. The Yankees, Severino, 103 plate appearances, 221 batting average. Obviously, Severino's a stud. He's one of the top 3 leading candidates for the Cy Young. He might actually be the leading one right now because a couple of Verlander has given up a few runs lately. So did Corey Kluber, gave up some runs, and Severino's been pretty solid as of late. I love Severino here. I don't love J.A. Happ because he's lefty and this team mashes lefties. Yes, Randy, I can see you typing. Jacob Trivers, I still have yet to see you type the email address in this chat. So type the email what address did you send it to? I told you the email, but you said it failed. So tell me what the email was because it's not coming through. I'm going to Yankee Stack. I'm going Severino here. Braves at the Brewers. Anibal Sanchez versus Aaron Wilkerson. Wilkerson, obviously, never seen him before. The Braves are a pretty hot-hitting team. Anibal Sanchez, 40 plate appearances, 313 batting average against him. The Brewers are pretty good. The Braves are pretty good. I don't trust either of these pitchers. I mean, I don't know anything about Aaron Wilkerson, though. Randy, you're typing. I see everything you're saying. The email is support@dailyrotohelp.com. In the Braves-Brewers game, I'm not taking the pitchers. I would be looking at I'd be looking at the bats, and we can go over some of that maybe in a little bit. White Sox at the Astros, James Shields versus Charlie Morton. I don't trust James Shields no matter what. He could have 15 games in a row. I do not trust him, especially against the Astros. The Astros did just call up Kyle Tucker. If he starts, I like him. He's mashing. I don't know if he's on FanDuel or DraftKings yet, so that's maybe a very cheap option depending on how they priced him if he's on there. Charlie Morton, he's only faced 9 White Sox, giving up a 111 batting average. So, I mean, not a lot, but not a lot. James Shields, 88 plate appearances, 293 batting average. You're not looking at James. I'm not looking at James Shields. Kyle Tucker plays the outfield. Rockies at the Mariners. Kyle Freeland versus James Paxton. 100% going James Paxton. 46 plate appearances, .077 batting average against him. Love Paxton here. Today's going to be a day where you're going to see multiple pitching options. Athletics at the Indians. Edwin Jackson versus Corey Kluber. Kluber, 69 plate appearances against him, 169 batting average. Edwin Jackson, I like him as a GPP because Jackson's actually had some pretty good games. Let's see. Since starting, look at what he's done. Maybe not. It's going real slow right now. There we go. All right, so Edwin Jackson, his last start came against Cleveland. 6.2 innings, gave up only 2 earned runs. Both of them were home runs. Struck out 6. Before that, against Detroit, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. Edwin Jackson might actually not be a bad option. Face this same team. I realized that game was being played at Oakland Coliseum. It's a huge, huge park. I like him. I don't know if this kind of feels like a trap, but I actually kind of like Edwin Jackson here. Yes, I did just get Jacob, I got your email, so I got it now. I actually like Edwin Jackson. I think probably GPP because he is going to get Kluber, more of a cash option here. Any surprise inclusions in your Yankee Stack statement? I feel like Hicks was too soon. Hicks right now is on fire. He has the second highest slugging percentage since June 1st. The only other higher one was, I believe it was Nelson Cruz. He's got like 9 home runs since June 1st as well. I really like Hicks, Gardner, Stanton. I don't know about Gardner because it's lefty-lefty, and I don't know if Boone will actually play Gardner. He seems to have been he keeps sitting lefties. I would not be surprised if Stanton starts in left, Hicks starts in center, and Judge in right, and that'll give you all 3 righties. Third base will I would assume it's Andujar. Shortstop's going to be Didi no matter what. You're going to put him there because you're not taking him out against the lefty. Second base could be Drury. I know. Hopefully it's not Neil Walker. I know Neil Walker is a switch hitter, but he's so bad. If they put, I know Drury's been working on second and first and just pretty much everywhere but shortstop. And he's a righty. He hits lefties well. I could see that. Romine or Higashioka, or I don't really know who's going to start it. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Gardner will start today. It's just Boone does some things different. So if I'm looking at the Yankees, and I know it's hard to pay up for both, Stanton, Judge. Hicks' price is probably up there as well. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Yankees games, but I don't know what it's going to take for the MLB to discipline the umpires for the worst calls in the strike zone for Judge I've ever seen. I don't care if he's 18 feet tall. The strike zone is the same for every player. It is supposed to be numbers to knees. Like, that's the strike zone. You can't call strikes 3 feet outside. Judge needs to just start arguing. I know he's never going to, but he needs to get pissed and he needs to start arguing. The home plate umpires against Judge have been absolutely terrible. In a perfect world, a Yankee stack would be Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Severino. I don't think you're going to be able to build a lineup with those guys. So if I'm looking, Stanton absolutely mashes away from Yankee Stadium. He mashes lefties. I'm looking at him for 100%. You're literally, he's on fire right now. And Duhar, I could see you going them. So if I'm looking at the hitters, I would be looking at those 3. And then you could be looking at Severino. But it's going to be really hard to build around all of those because Severino's probably the second highest pitcher on the slate. Well, Scherzer's going, so that be close. So let's look at that real quick. So we're looking at pitch, at least FanDuel. I can't bring up draft. Oh, actually, because of the slate, it's the 405 slate. Severino's 11,700. So you could put him in there. And then if you put Stanton, who's second highest bat, in there, and then if you put Andujar, which, yeah, of course, he's 3,000, you have 2,500 left per player. So it's going to be pretty tough if you go Severino, but maybe if you go like an Edwin Jackson. So, but we're getting off topic. What I'm going to do is we're going to build a GPP lineup after we go through all the pitching matchups. So everyone in here, write down players that you would look at. I'm definitely looking at a Yankee stack possibly. Write down some players for a GPP on both FanDuel and DraftKings, and we will build those lineups when we're done here. So Edwin Jackson, GPP, Corey Kluber, cash. Rays at the Mets, Blake Snell versus Steven Matz. I love Blake Snell here. He does pitch a little bit better at home. He is on the road, but it is Citi Field, and it's massive field. Blake Snell, 21 plate appearances, 188 batting average against him. The Mets can strike out as good as anybody out there. Blake Snell throws so hard. I'm looking at Snell here. I'm not looking back. I'm not looking at Steven Matz at all. Rangers at the Tigers, you got Cole Hamels versus Mike Fiers. Cole Hamels, 67 plate appearances, 145 batting average against him. It's the Tigers. They're terrible. I absolutely love Cole Hamels. Mike Fiers, 120 plate appearances, 296 batting average. Probably going to be leaning towards Cole Hamels in this one. Red Sox at the Royals, David Price versus Brad Keller. What David Price are we going to get? Absolutely got shelled against the Yankees on national television. The Royals don't strike out a ton. I don't trust David Price here. I just don't. Brad Keller, 5 plate appearances, 200 batting average. I'm not taking a pitcher against the Red Sox, but I'm not looking. I don't think there'll be any exposure to David Price today. Dodgers at the Angels, Ross Stripling versus Deck McGuire. Deck? It's a weird name. Stripling, 10 plate appearances, 429 batting average. I'm not looking at him. Deck McGuire, I don't even know if he's on the FanDuel slate. Let's see if he is. I'm sure he's bottom price if he's there. Deck, you can't even use him. I guess that's the main slate. He might be on there, but not looking at Stripling. I know he's been pretty consistent, but in 10 plate appearances, I mean, it's not a lot. Terry, did you ever do the video where you were talking about doing with advice on how to build a lineup with drafters? Actually, Terry, after this video, I'm going to be recording a video for drafters, and then we're going, that'll be uploaded as well. And it's going to kind of show you how I'm building for today's slate. The only problem with it is it's really hard to do a video about drafters.com because I can't tell you the players to take because they might already be taken because only one person can have that player. My suggestion would be definitely look at our cheat sheets. Definitely look at BVP. Look at the bats that you think will do well, who's on a hot streak, who's done well against that pitcher before, and make sure to take your pitcher pretty much last. If you're in a head-to-head and there's a pitcher that you 100% want, I would look at taking the pitchers, third to last pick or very last pick, depending on what pitchers are out there. If there are a ton of pitchers that have really good matchups, then I would try to load up on Mike Trout, on Arenado, on Paul Goldschmidt first, and then go take your pitcher second. Josh Bell, huge numbers against Jake for cheap first base. Yes, I like Josh Bell. Do the Mets still suck? Yes. The Mets suck no matter who they're playing. Thanks, buddy. Awesome feedback. San Francisco, I feel, is a sneaky low-price stack to plug in around Yankees and Severino. You could be looking at some of them. I just don't trust them enough. Yes, so I answered those. So, looking at these, Marlins at the Nationals, Wei-Yin Chin versus Max Scherzer. Scherzer, gave up a couple of runs Monday night. I think it was Monday night against Boston. 161 plate appearances against Miami, 235 batting average. It's Mad Max. But the thing is, that's the main slate. The main slate, we're not going to play. We're going to play the early only, which has 9 games. But obviously, the chalk on the main slate is going to be Scherzer. And then the final game on the slate, Padres at the D-backs, Tyson Ross versus Robbie Ray. Take a pitcher against the Padres. Zach Godley was a very contrarian GPP play yesterday because he has gotten lit up before, but the Padres are the Padres. Robbie Ray, 106 plate appearances, 220 batting average against him. Tyson Ross, 149 plate appearances, 176. Being played at Chase Field is the only thing that kind of bothers me, but the Padres don't scare many people, except if you're Shelby Miller. Then you suck. So those are the pitching options, guys. So now let's take a look at some of the bats. We're going to look at some of the bats. The rest of the bats are actually on our cheat sheet. You can go sign up, dailyrotohelp.com. I'll actually just link you guys to it today. The thing is, I decided to leave the $75 season pass for MLB until tomorrow. It's usually, since it's halfway over, it's usually a $175 pass. It's down to $75. You can save $100 this weekend, and that will give you DraftKings, FanDuel optimal lineups, cheat sheets, videos, articles. That gives you everything. $75 today and tomorrow. Once Monday hits, the season pass will go back up to $175. So if you are interested, I would get in that now. Or if you're interested in NFL, the season pass, there's 50 season passes for $175. Once that is gone, once those 50 are gone, it will go back to $2.99. Or you can do the we have other ones. Let me get to that real quick. The NFL's the NFL Early Bird Season Pass. You get that. Or I could actually make a pass for MLB and NFL. We have NBA and NFL Season Pass for $150. That'll obviously give you the season pass through that. But right now, if you're looking at that, I know a lot of people aren't looking at NFL because it hasn't started, but we're literally 1 month away from it. So looking at the bats, who are the bats that we like to look at against the pitchers on today's slate? So looking at it, Martin Prado, I don't even know if I think he's still hurt, right? Or is Martin Prado in? I haven't used him forever, so not 100% sure because it's the Marlins. So Martin Prado is in, hasn't done much. Yesterday, 2 at-bats, 2 walks. But, I mean, this would be contrarian if you're playing the 4-game main slate. Or if you're playing the all-day slate, good luck. That's all I can tell you about an all-day slate. But Martin Prado against Scherzer, 16 for 35. That's a 457 batting average. 4 doubles, 1 home run. So he has the rest of them obviously are singles. He's only struck out twice against Scherzer, which is crazy to think because it's like Martin Prado, Scherzer, who you think would have a better, track record against each other. Prado's actually been really good. Very cheap option. I don't know the price of him right now, but he would be a super cheap option. Yadier Molina versus Jeff Samardzija, 12 for 28, a double, no home runs, but a 429 batting average. I hate Samardzija as a person, as a player, just the way he looks. I don't think Samardzija is going to have a good game. He looks coming off the DL, and we've already talked about that. I don't think he's going to have a good game. Another one you could be looking at, Josh Reddick versus James Shields. I don't trust James Shields here against Houston. 9 for 30, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and a triple. It's a 300 batting average. He's only struck out 3 times. I don't know who the Astros are actually going to put in their outfield because they did call up Kyle Tucker. I have absolutely no idea who they will have in their outfield, so that's something we'll have to look at. So we will look at any starting lineups that are already posted right after we look at some more bats. Brett Gardner against J.A. Happ. I don't know if he'll play. Pretty good. 9 for 34, 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. 265 batting average, but 6 Ks. Again, the way Boone does stuff, Gardner usually sits against lefties. We'll see. I mean, that could be something. Starlin Marte against Jake Arrieta, 9 for 40, a home run, but he does have 11 Ks. I don't like that. So if you're looking for home run power, Adam Jones versus Kyle Gibson, 5 for 22 with a double and 4 home runs. Hunter Renfroe against Robbie Ray, 3 for 9 with 3 home runs. Perez versus David Price, 5 for 20 with 3 home runs. Reddick against Shields, 3 home runs. Polanco against Arrieta, 8 for 41 with a double, 3 home runs. Goldschmidt against Tyson Ross. Goldschmidt at home. It's not against the lefty. 8 for 26 with a triple and 2 home runs. So Reddick, so the lineups are out. So, okay. So those are some of the bats. Now let's take a look at any news, notes, starting lineups that are out. So Braves, Ronald Acuna will be reevaluated about his groin today. That's something to look at. Joe Panik's going on the DL. Not a lot of notes to go over. Some lineups that are out right now. The Reds lineups is out. Nothing to. Billy Hamilton's batting last, though. I guess I really haven't checked out that. Yeah, confirmed and projected lineups. Yeah, so there's not much to go off right now. The Cubs lineup's out. There's no one. Catcher Victor Caratini. Pretty much the lineups that are out now are going to be the early slate, the very early only. That's only 2 games that no one's going to play. So if there are people that have joined, since, I don't know, in the last 10, 15 minutes, you can go to dailyrotohub.com/plans. You can sign up for a day pass. If you like it, you can sign up for the season for MLB. like I said, it is $75 right now. But for the people that do follow us, that check our lineups up, like I say, take the lineups and mix and match with your own research and our cheat sheets. Don't just take the lineups and copy and paste into FanDuel and that is it, because that is not the way to do it. But we're not going to have the very early only slate, which consists of 2 games. We're not going to have the main slate, which is 4 games. We're going to have the early only slate, and that consists of 9 games. So those will be our lineups. You can play the other ones, and you can mix and match with our lineups because there is late swap. But just heads up, Saturdays lately have been stupid with very early only main slate all day. I absolutely hate it. But that's the thing. FanDuel, I guess they're trying something new. Good for them, I guess. I don't know. Since Ozzy is fired, I mean, Ozzy Albies is really, really good lately. I think you need to at least you need to make multiple lineups probably. You need to at least get some of him in there. So we have come to the part of the show where, if you have questions, get them in. I'm looking at them. But what I want to do, and we haven't done it in a while, and this is what we used to do with football. So, I mean, there are some people here that have been with us for a long time. Excuse me. And you've seen every Sunday about 9 a.m. before football kicked off, we would do this show. We would look at the weather. We would look at any of that situation. Then we'd build lineups together. And that's what I want to bring back. So I want to build a FanDuel GPP and a DraftKings GPP. Best value for secondary pitcher on DraftKings to Severino. If you're doing the all-day slate, I really like Harvey. He's probably going to be the cheaper option there for DraftKings anyway. I would assume he's the cheapest option out of those. Edwin Jackson, too, if you want to use him. Yeah, if you're playing the all-day slate, then Harvey's in there. Edwin Jackson's probably in the middle. If you're not taking Arrieta, then the Polanco brothers would not be bad. But if you are obviously taking Arrieta, you're not going to take a bat against him. I mean, you technically could take one bat against your pitcher and hope that that's the only, runs he gets in their home run way to not the best way to go about it. So, yeah. So don't go with Arrieta. Yeah, you could go them. So let's build a lineup together, guys. So looking at FanDuel. Now, I want everyone's input here. So GPP-wise, who should we use? Pitcher. We could look at pitcher. We're going to do the early only slate. So it's got Philly at Pitt, St. Louis at San Francisco, Yankees at Toronto, Oakland at Cleveland, White Sox at Houston, Colorado at Seattle, Tampa Bay at the Mets, Texas at Detroit, and Atlanta at Milwaukee. So if we're looking at Blake Snell, he's 9,900. He's 1,200 less than Severino at the top. So, I mean, that's 1,500 less than, so we're looking a little bit different. So let's see. Actually, no, I'm going to put this up on this screen so I can see it and this. So CMart on FanDuel, Martinez is 8,400. Snell and Arrieta. So we're building this on on FanDuel first. So I see Snell, Harvey, Martinez. Snell with a pit stack. Carlos Martinez at 8,400. Has he faced the Giants this year yet? Can't remember. San Francisco. He has not faced the Giants this season. And this is being played at AT&T Park, which is a huge park. So I'm not seeing anyone agree on the actual pitcher. So put a 1 in the chat if you want to see Snell. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to see Harvey. And put a 3 in the chat if you want to see Martinez. Now, Edwin Jackson might be a pretty good one, too. Actually, guys, Harvey's not in this. They're in the early game, so we can't do Harvey. So we are doing the early slate, and Harvey, he's not in there. He's in the very early only on FanDuel. Yeah, the Saturday slates are stupid. The way they're doing them lately is absolutely dumb. So I see 3 for Snell, 2 for Martinez, so now I see 3 and 3. So are we going to flip a coin on which pitcher we're going with? One more vote. Edwin Jackson might be even cheaper. I mean, he is... Where's he at? Edwin Jackson is $7,500. So we could throw him in there. We could throw in Martinez. So seeing what we can't go Harvey. C-Mart is better, obviously. But C-Mart is 8,400, where Edwin Jackson is 75. So, I mean, we're not saving a ton. So let's go C-Mart. Let's check that out. Let's go Martinez. So now, who are we looking at catcher or first base? I did see someone mention earlier was Josh Bell. Jesus Aguilar has just been absolutely stupid hitting lately. Josh Bell against Arrieta and the Phillies. Josh Bell's had some couple of games. Gaddis is on fire against lefties. Going against James Shields. James Shields is hitting 253 right now with 18 home runs this season. He's 3,300. Let's just put him in there now. So we'll just put in Gaddis right now, and maybe we'll circle back depending on how much money we have left over. So as of right now, I put Martinez, Gaddis, and I already filled in Andujar and Stanton as GPP against J Happ. Obviously, we can change that if we want, but right now, I kind of like that. That leaves us 3,060 per player left with 15,300 to fill up 5 spots. Outfield wise, is Tucker on there? I would use him if he's on there. Kyle Tucker's not on there. Tucker is not on is not on the slate for FanDuel, so we can't use Kyle Tucker. Gurriel, I like him, but we kind of put Gaddis in there right now. Actually, Gurriel's numbers lately, his last 4 games, he's hit 16.2 fantasy points, 21.5, 30.9, and 12.7. He's batting 300, whereas Evan Gaddis is the same exact price, batting 253 with 18 home runs. I'm switching Evan Gaddis with Gurriel. It's been absolutely on fire. Actually, we could use both of them. Gurriel could be the utility. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So we can actually, right now, let's just build with that, and we'll mix a match if we need. So as of right now, the lineup's looking like Carlos Martinez, Evan Gaddis, Andujar, Stanton, and Gurriel. Now, don't forget we can take out Gurriel and put him in where Gaddis, and then take Gaddis completely out. But right now, we're just going to build that like it is. So second base, guys. For Wilson Ramos playing center, he is gonna dunk some balls. Ramos is 2,900 against the Mets. He's had 3 positive games. He has a home run there. He's batting 287 with 12 home runs. Okay, so this is where I want to talk about something. So we're at the beginning of July. We're coming up on, obviously, the All-Star break's coming up. Teams are looking to trade some players. So this is where, when you build your lineups, you need to check back every single hour. Wilson Ramos, there was a report that he's all but going to be on a different team come at least the trade deadline. This is the point of the season where you have to be, teams are going to start trading people. So I want you to just pay attention. This is where you have to check MLB news pretty much every 30 minutes to an hour, because trades are going to go down. And if you have them in your lineup, you could get screwed out of some money. Odor, let's look at Odor real quick. He's probably pretty cheap still. Rougned Odor, 3,100 against Detroit. Detroit is pitching Mike Fiers. Odor's a lefty. Odor has also been terrible this season overall. Only 4 home runs, which kind of is upsetting. He's 3,100 though, and he hasn't done a ton. I'm going to put him in the second base option right now, but then I am going to go look at Cesar to see what he's looking at too. Hernandez against Talion, 268 batting average. He's got 8 home runs. He had a 3 hits, 3 runs yesterday. Against Baltimore, 9.2, 15.5, 3. Yeah, so he's not been too bad. I do like Hernandez more than I like Odor. So I'm going to replace him. Hernandez, those 3,700. So we are getting to the point where 2,700 per player is left. So that kind of scares me. I don't think we're going to be able to fit Markakis in there then. Let's see. I put Markakis in there at 3,600. It's going to be pretty top. Braves, I think they go for 14 runs. It wouldn't be... I'm not 100% sure. We've seen the Braves get blanked, but we also know what they're capable of. That is the only thing that kind of scares me. So we are taking out Hernandez then. We can take out Hernandez. So Hernandez is gone. Margot's a third base option, and we have Andujar at the moment. We do have Josh Bell as a option. We didn't use him right now, though. But we have the utility spot. We can take out, or we can take out Evan Gattis and put Josh Bell. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so far right now we have Carlos Martinez, Evan Gattis, Miguel Andujar, Stanton, and Gurriel. So do you want to take out Gattis? We'll put Gurriel in there. Let's put him in the option. Then we'll look at – I do love Markakis as well. He's been absolutely on fire. So that's that. So that leaves us 2,900 per position. DeJong, how cheap is he? 3,400. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row, 8 games straight. Actually, he just came back from the DL, but yeah, so those numbers don't look. Alonso, isn't he a first base option though? Alonso against Oakland, 2,900. He's actually pretty cheap. We can put him in the utility spot. Let's go Alonso there. So we have 2,900 left for second base, shortstop, and 1 outfielder. So let's look at second base right here. What options are we looking at? Are we looking at Odor again because he's going against Detroit? Are we looking at who are we looking at second? Albies is super expensive, though. If we do him, then shortstop has to be 2,200 and outfield has to be 2,200. So let's see what we can get at 2,200 for shortstop. we're looking at, yeah, we can't put in Albies. That just wouldn't be. So, second base option, 2,900. What can we look at 2,900? We get Dansby Swanson. I mean, he's been pretty good lately. He's 2,800. Dansby Swanson could be an option. He's batting 248 with 7 home runs. He doesn't steal bases. Swanson for value. Let's look at that. So we want DeJong at short, DeJong is 3,400. Swanson's 2,800. DeJong should not be that high coming off the DL. I mean, that's pretty stupid. The way they price some of them is kind of dumb. So we're looking at 3,000 for second base and short and outfield. So let's just kind of look real quick. Shorts or second base, 3,000. We've got a Kipnis here. Kipnis has been pretty good lately, 18.5 and 12.2. So let's just throw Kipnis in at the moment. And then outfield, we're looking at 3,000 for the outfield. 3,000 for the outfield. So you're looking at Starling Marte, Kean Broxton, Ozuna, Brandon Nimmo. I don't like Nimmo against I don't like Nimmo or Conforto against Snell. Clint Frazier might be. Well, no, he got sent back down. Granderson, I don't like him. Bautista, no, I don't like him. Gregory Polanco is 2,700. Let's go Gregory Polanco. That leaves us 300. So second base, we could be looking at 3,300 for second. DJ LeMahieu against James Paxton. I don't really like that. Odor against Detroit's 3,100. We voted that down. Kipnis is still there at 3,000. Let's see. So if we get rid of utility here, that leaves us 3,200 for utility. Let's see what that's going to bring us. Utility spot could be Ian Desmond, Tommy Pham, Marcus Semien, Jose Abreu, Nomar Mazara, Yolmer Sanchez, Brett Gardner. You want to go Alan Hansen? We go out. Well, Alan Hansen is going against our pitcher because we do have Carlos Martinez right now. So Alan Hansen will be going up against our pitcher. So we're Austin Meadows. Let's see what Meadows is looking like. Austin Meadows, 2,400. Batting 293 with 5 home runs. Had 3 goose eggs in a row. So if we put him in the outfield, that leaves us 3,800 for second base. That's Cesar Hernandez. So I think we built our lineup, guys. So here's a GPP lineup. You can play it. This is built with you guys. After this, I got to run upstairs real quick and get some water. And then we will do a DraftKings GPP lineup. And then that's it. So if you guys want to write this down, if you guys want to type this out, if you want to bring up FanDuel to build a GPP lineup real quick, I'll actually run upstairs real quick. I'll get the water. And then we will go over this. So I'll give you guys time to bring up FanDuel. This is the early slate that has 9 games, or the afternoon slate, whichever it's called. I can't remember what it's called on FanDuel. I think it's early. Yeah. So get ready, guys. I will be right back. Write this down. Get FanDuel up. This is a good one. We built this together. This is kind of what I want you to do. This is kind of what you guys could do if you join our GroupMe chat. So if you would like to join the GroupMe chat, email me, and I'll give you the link. support@dailyrotohelp.com. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll go over the run totals as well. All right, so if you have FanDuel up, if you have if you have a piece of paper, this is what we built together. Now, hopefully someone wins a ton of money with this. Obviously, you guys know I can't play. I'm in a banned state. So if you guys win $1 million with this lineup, please go ahead and tip me because that would be awesome. But we got Carlos Martinez as our pitcher. We got Gurriel as our catcher / first base. We got Cesar Hernandez as second. We got Andujar at third. We got Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Outfield consists of Giancarlo Stanton, Nick Markakis, Gregory Polanco, and our utility spot is Austin Meadows. So if anyone needs me to repeat any of that, let me know real quick. Utility spot is Austin Meadows. Outfielders are Stanton, Markakis, and Gregory Polanco. We good on that one? Hopefully you send me money. You guys could, tip me right now. There's apparently a money thing tip. You can send tips on YouTube. I didn't know that was a thing. Go ahead, send a super chat. But so I read that you wanted to go over run totals. Yes. So Vegas odds. Now, obviously, these can change a little bit. These will change a bit throughout the day for some reason. We're not going to obviously be able to go over all of them. But the highest totals, projected runs, the Angels versus the Dodgers. Deck McGuire versus Ross Stripling at 10 over under. That's the highest one. I think that was supposed to be yesterday as well. There wasn't a ton of runs scored in that game, even though it was like 100. It was like 105 out. Boston at Kansas City. You've got David Price versus Brad Keller, 9 runs over under. Texas at Detroit, Cole Hamels versus Mike Fiers. I hope it's Detroit's pitching that gets lit up. 9 as well. Another 9 is Anibal Sanchez versus Aaron Wilkerson. Yeah, so Vegas isn't always on, but they're pretty good sometimes. DJ, thanks for the $5. I literally have no idea what to do with it right now. But that is awesome. Nobody has ever sent a super chat, so that is awesome, guys. You can do that if you want. That would be amazing. But you don't feel like you have to. If you win a ton of money with our advice, I beg you to send me a Venmo or PayPal or super chat. Cody, down at the bottom, there's like a money thing, I think, if that's what you're talking about. And like a super chat down at the bottom. I don't know. 600 MLB. That's awesome, DJ. I'll figure it out, but that is awesome. Thanks, DJ. We did have someone, we had someone in basketball win 18 grand with our advice. And then he bought the lifetime pass. A couple seasons ago for the NFL, we had someone win 25,000, and he was actually 3 points off of 50 grand. He paid for his entire school that way, which was awesome. A couple more over-unders that we're looking. Let's see. The Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds versus Cincinnati Reds. It's being played at Wrigley. The wind goes out of there a lot. It's Matt Harvey. I actually kind of like Matt Harvey, which is hard for me to say because it's Matt Harvey. But I kind of like Matt Harvey. But there's an 8.5 over under there. Oakland at Cleveland, 8.5 as well. Baltimore at Minnesota, 8.5. I think that will be more. To be honest with you, I could see that being more. The games that they're saying not to look at is pretty much the Mets at the Tampa Bay, or versus Tampa Bay, Mats versus Snell, Colorado at Seattle, kind of the ones that are at 7, which that's not a ton, but obviously something to look at. So the games that Vegas wants you to look at is LA at the Dodgers, or the Angels at the Dodgers at 10 over under. They kind of had that yesterday and it didn't really work out. Same with the Tigers, because for some reason Zimmerman decided he was going to pitch like it was 15 years ago. Not 15, but whenever he, was good or decent. I think if you want to go contrarian, you could look at a Kansas City Royals stack against David Price. David Price got lit up against the Yankees. Now, I'm not saying the Royals are the Yankees. They're not. But David Price has been off. David Price maybe been playing a little bit too much of the Fortnite, or however he wants to use as an excuse as to why he's terrible. So again, guys, like DJ just said, down at the bottom of the chat, there's like a money sign. It's called a super chat. You can send a super chat, a certain amount of money, whatever. You can send up to 500. You guys should send 500. No, I'm kidding. But if you have any questions, you can always email me, support@dailyrotohelp.com. We've gone over a ton of information today. Is there any other questions you guys have? Maybe you came in late. Maybe you're wondering what we're talking about. We've been on here for an hour. I love going live because I love being able to answer you guys. But I want to go live more. It's just my job. It's hard to do. I could do on Thursdays and Fridays, but it would depend. I'm assuming you guys aren't able to log in on Thursdays and Fridays at like 11 a.m. or noon. Was that a good assumption? If you can, that's awesome too. I would love to go live there. My overall goal would be to go live an hour before the slate locks during the week. Thursdays is pretty hard to do because I have softball most of those Thursdays. There's a chance that the Indians do beat up on Jackson. Jackson has dominated them his last start. Maybe they've figured him out because they're going to see him a little bit more. That's just the unknown, because Jackson obviously has only pitched 2 other games this season after being in AAA. So that's the one thing that kind of you don't know. You really don't know. He's always owned them, but he's also 34 years old. So, and he's making his 3rd start of the season, and it's July. So that's the only thing that, it's an unknown. Obviously a GPP play. I don't know. I think his ownership might be a little bit higher than you think because he just played them and dominated them 5 days ago. That's the only thing that think about that. So again, guys, yeah, the Cardinals could beat up on Samardzija because it is Samardzija. People have been emailing. I've been getting on my phone. Right here, you can get the MLB Season Pass until tomorrow, through tomorrow, for $75. That gives you everything for MLB the rest of the season. After tomorrow, it does go back up to $175. But we do give up a lot of an hour of free information today as well. We do have a cheat sheet. We have optimal lineups. The optimal lineups are there. Today will be for the earliest slate, which is the 9 games. Cincinnati stack against Chatwood. Chatwood's not that good of a pitcher, and he walks so many people. And it's at Wrigley. Let's see if the wind's blowing out at Wrigley, because that will be another thing to look at real quick. The wind's actually blowing in from right, but that really shouldn't matter. I mean, it's 75. I mean, it's a perfect day out. It is gorgeous out today. So, yeah. I mean, there's no weather concerns for anything today. Everything's good. So, Any other questions while we have 40 people in here? Again, so a good way to win a free month of daily real help, you can, when this video gets done uploading to YouTube completely and there's a comment section, you can comment who you think's going to hit a home run and in what inning. If you get both of those correct, you're going to win a free month. That will stack. If you go ahead and get this MLB Season Pass today for $75, which is $100 off, at the end of the MLB season, we'll actually add a month to it. So you can choose whether or not you would like NBA or NFL for a month. So that's something to look forward to as well. The packages that we do have on the site are for, so we have, I just put it up in the chat, but for NFL, it's weekly, monthly, or season pass. The early bird season pass is half off right now for NFL. NBA, same thing. NBA daily, $5. NBA monthly is $30. So think about this. You could purchase a month of MLB for $30, and that gets you until August 7th. Or if you do the season pass until tomorrow, it's $75, which is about 2 months, and that's actually going to get you through October, so you actually save money there. After tomorrow, it goes back up to $150. Then we do have MLB and NFL weekly, NBA and NFL monthly, NBA and NFL season, and I'm looking to do MLB and NFL. That's about a month worth, so we'll look at that. Also, if you guys do a month pass, it automatically renews each month. So it's your responsibility to cancel if you don't want it to recur. So that's just, and it's at the bottom of the page as well. Blake Snell regression day. I don't think so, Patrick. Blake Snell at Citi Field against the Mets. I love that. Washington Stack, a good idea. It would be if you're playing the early slate. Again, there's 2 games. I mean, there's not a lot to go over in those 2 games. You got Baltimore and Minnesota and the Reds at the Cubs. 8.5 over under for both of those games. So, I mean, they think there's going to be a lot of runs scored. I don't trust Baltimore. Minnesota might go. So, yeah. Any questions? Any questions at all? So DraftKings has 9 early games. Is that how DraftKings is built out? Tommy Pham could be a sneaky option. He's been pretty good. I do like Gibson as a GPP. See you, DJ. Thanks for the $5 donation. That's awesome. You were the first ever to donate. So thank you so much. So, yeah, our FanDuel lineups will be the early-only slate, which is 9 games. Our DraftKings lineups will consist of the early slate, which is 11 games. And like I said at the very beginning of this show, I'm actually going to be away from the computer. So if you guys are a premium subscriber to the website, to dailyrotohelp.com, I'm going to put the lineups up soon, and someone obviously might be out. You'll have to mix and match with the cheat sheet. So, Yankee Stack, I do like a Yankee Stack. I liked him yesterday, and we saw what happened, but the Yankees usually dominate lefties, and they're going up against J.A. Happ. I kind of like that. So I want to thank every single person here who has donated your time, an hour of it. I want to I did not do a DraftKings lineup. I forgot about that. All right, guys, so let's do a DraftKings lineup real quick. GPP only DraftKings lineup. So if we're looking at GPP, we're looking at pitchers real quick. Who do we want as our pitchers here? We're going to do a GPP lineup. You want Edwin Jackson? Let's go very contrarian. So let's go Snell and Edwin Jackson, since we didn't use Edwin Jackson there. And Edwin Jackson's the cheapest on the slate here, $5,800. I mean, that gives us so much. So if we build around that, and let's go our outfield, Stanton, who smashes lefties. I'm just going to build this real quick, and you guys can mix and match, obviously. Mix and match here. Paul, he might, but this is a GPP. You have to be contrarian to take a GPP down. You have to, maybe there's 1,000 people that think Jackson's going to get killed, so they don't use him. There's 1,000 people you go ahead if he does what he did last time. So looking at this, so right now I have Snell and Jackson as my pitchers. So I'm going to build this real quick. Actually, this is built around what you guys wanted for FanDuel real quick. So get a piece of paper. Obviously, mix and match with this. This is super contrarian. I'm not guaranteing anything, but this is very contrarian. Playing the numbers, playing the weather, playing everything like this. I built this pretty quickly. This just going up against the pitchers that are here. So we're looking at is Kyle Tucker on DraftKings? Kyle Tucker's not on DraftKings. He does not appear to be. Kyle Tucker, he's not showing up on anything. Is he on DraftKings? Well, you can mix and match with him. Let's see. I mean, if you're not going to go with Severino, Justin Smoke has been on fire. It honestly depends on who the pitching options you're taking is. So let's see. So kind of looking here. Do you want to go? Let's go Justin Smoke then. Let's go Smoke. We'll just put him there. I'll build this lineup. You guys can mix and match around if you want. Just playing the lineups right now. So at pitcher, I've got Blake Snell and Edwin Jackson. Now, I don't know who's going to be the catcher for Atlanta, but Kurt Suzuki's in there right now. Obviously, you might have to move him around if he's not in. Could be Tyler Flowers. We're looking at first base is Justin Smoke. Second base is Odor. Now, I know he's been very – this is a super contrarian lineup that should have very low ownership. That's kind of what I like to try to do with DraftKings because you can take two pitchers. Third base, Travis Shaw kind of let us down a couple of times we've used him, but he's going against Anibal Sanchez. I do not trust Anibal Sanchez. And it's being played in Milwaukee, home run hitting park. Shortstop, if you're looking, Hechavarria against Mats. I kind of like him. Very super cheap at $2,600. Outfield of Christian Yelich, lefty against Sanchez. I like Yelich here, even though he's had a couple of games-ish. I don't put it against him. Austin Meadows is the outfield, along with Giancarlo Stanton, who mashes lefties. That's what we've talked about. So, again, that's Snell and Jackson for pitching. You got Suzuki for catcher, Smoke for first base, Odor for second base, Travis Shaw for third, Hechavarria for shortstop, Christian Yelich, Austin Meadows, and Giancarlo Stanton. Now, you could take out Stanton. You could put in Kyle Tucker, and then that'll save you $1,600, where then you could take maybe Hechavarria, which would put you at $4,200 for a shortstop, which you maybe be looking at Jurickson Profar, Brandon Crawford, Didi against Happ. Dansby Swanson's pretty cheap, depending on the money that you do have left over. That would obviously depend on what we've got left over here. Here we have 300 left over, so if you were to switch that out, you'd be able to pay up at shortstop. So that's all I've got for you guys today. 117 minutes, or 117, an hour and 17 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Again, if you want to go subscribe to dailyrotohelp.com, you can. Projected, what do you mean? Who is projected as for Milwaukee today? For what? Shortstop for Milwaukee? Let's see if anything's out yet. So Kyle Tucker is actually starting in left field today for the Astros. Projected, let's see. Looking. Whether or not he's actually going to be the starter, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Brad Miller, Arcia. I mean, I don't know yet. Projections, and lately they've not been very good. So we just kind of have to wait and see and play the matchups. So that is what I've got for you guys. If you guys have liked this video, thank you so much. If you have not yet, go ahead and hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe to our YouTube page, which would be awesome. And don't forget, once this goes live on YouTube, go ahead and predict who do you think is going to hit a home run in what inning. If you get both of those correct, you're going to win a free month of Daily Roto Help MLB content. That's what I've got going, guys. Good luck. Any questions, email me, support@dailyrotohelp.com, or comment on this video once it does go live so I can see it. Or you can follow us on Twitter @FantasyAdvice22. You can ask me there. Yeah, that's what I've got, guys. Good luck. Thanks for everyone who's watched. Thanks to everybody who's liked. Thank you, DJ. I don't think you're here anymore. You are here. Thank you for the donation. That was awesome. Good luck, guys. And as always, bring on that bacon, guys. Peace. Good luck. Let's go.